The information presented here is based on a scientific study of commuter transportation in Lake, Porter, LaPorte, and St. Joseph counties. The study recommends if you want the best commuter transportation in Northwest Indiana, you must keep the South Shore passenger service.
Whenever I go to Chicago and when I go to South Bend, I have relatives in South Bend, and that's how we always go, is on the train.
Well, I've been using it since I was a young child with my parents. We traveled a lot to Chicago to visit our relatives.
It's much easier to get to and from.
Well, as I say, I'm a daily commuter. Yeah, that's Stewart. It costs me too much money to drive my own car. It's a lot cheaper than driving to Chicago.
We asked, what would you do if the South Shore quit running?
Well, I'm not sure. I have, shelters to get a car, move to Chicago, or take the bus for a while, but that's too expensive.
I would have to relocate.
The future of the South Shore passenger service is now being decided. You have a role to play in determining that future.
In the following few minutes, you will receive information from this study, the Transportation Corridor in Northwest Indiana. This is an impartial, in-depth analysis of transportation options for Lake, Porter, LaPorte, and St. Joseph counties. The study was prepared by the Institute for Urban Transportation of Indiana University. This study shows that continuation of South Shore passenger service is the lowest cost of all the options studied. The South Shore is the fastest, safest, and most energy-efficient form of transportation. It will not add to highway congestion in Northwest Indiana or Chicago, or create new parking problems in the Chicago Loop. The South Shore is essential to the development of the Dunes National Lake Shore. Plans for the future of northwestern Indiana and northeastern Illinois rely on continued operation of the South Shore passenger rail service. The experts agree the South Shore passenger service should be continued. We are doing our share at the state level. The General Assembly has passed a bill which I have signed into law, allowing the creation of the Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District. The 4 counties involved have established this district, which is now functioning. Further, the General Assembly passed and I signed into law an appropriation providing up to $3.6 million for the South Shore, provided the 4 counties contribute an equal amount to match a federal grant. I urge you to view this transportation briefing and help decide what the future of transportation in Northwest Indiana will be.
The Northwest Indiana Transportation Corridor Study was commissioned to find out what is the best form of commuter transportation for people in Lake, Porter, LaPorte, and St. Joseph counties. Researchers at the Institute for Urban Transportation studied the situation, asked questions, analyzed answers, and made recommendations. They asked questions like, how do you get to work? Most people drive to work. Researchers agree that most people will continue to drive their cars to work even in the year 2000, if they can get the gas and oil. Auto ownership is high in Northwest Indiana, but many do not have access to an automobile. Others choose not to use their car for all of their trips. Over 60% of people who work in downtown Chicago and live in northwest Indiana take the commuter train to work.
Fuel line or something, and they're calling for some oil dry, so watch out for that on the ramp. So that's going to cause some problems. We're trying to keep everything straight this morning. We'll be back with more traffic in just a few minutes.
It's the hour of 7 o'clock and our lines are open in case you want to get on.
People fighting their way off the expressway. I don't know how most guys do it every morning. And coming off the Dan Ryan, he probably figures, well, I'm home free. And then all of a sudden, wham, he gets into this. Right. Well, let's find out what the Dan Ryan is like. 91st to 71st, stop and go. Local lanes are slow and solid 71st right into the loop.
26, all lanes are open again. That was the scene of a minor accident, but there are delays. The Ryan 95th to the Eisenhower, our computer projecting a 36-minute trip. Stop and go traffic, 95th to 71st. But eastbound North Avenue is backed up for 1/4 of a mile at Route 83. Now, the increased rolling resistance of underinflated tires can cause a 5% loss in gasoline.
Local bus service is provided in Gary, East Chicago, Michigan City, LaPorte, and South Bend. Most of these buses serve South Shore stations in their areas. The Chicago and Calumet District Company operates buses between points in Lake County and Chicago during the morning and evening rush hours. South Suburban Safeway Bus Company provides service between Hegewisch and the Chicago Loop. Conrail and the South Shore are the commuter trains now available. The study assumes Conrail service will be dropped. Its equipment is old, the operating deficit is large, and the number of people riding Conrail is declining. The South Shore, like Conrail, has old equipment, a large operating deficit, and a declining number of passengers. However, the South Shore is unique. It is the last electric interurban. Since the turn of the century, the South Shore has linked St. Joseph, LaPorte, Porter, and Lake counties with safe, convenient, low-cost, pollution-free transportation. The South Shore was revamped in the 20s. The facilities and equipment now in use were new 50 years ago.
In effect, it's just 50 years of hard service on these cars. And it's just a dedication of our own people, the car builders that made them. And once again, this car here is 106, which was a stretch car. We put 1940, I guess 17 foot 6 inches into the center of this car. It's similar to building a ship at this time, or stretching a ship, which perhaps South Shore is a little bit ahead of its time. They've done things that the industry is now getting into. But once again, it's a credit, as I say, to the car builder and to the people that we have here.
The dedicated people who have kept the South Shore running through the years certainly deserve our thanks. In the 20s, people rode the South Shore. The convenient, fast, and inexpensive service attracted riders. The South Shore was a financial success. In those days, the South Shore operated feeder buses which brought people to the South Shore stations, and the South Shore made money. The situation changed during the Depression. Ridership dropped. The drop in riders meant a drop in revenues. Lack of money made it difficult to maintain service and impossible to improve service. During World War II, when there was gas rationing, ridership and finances improved. But after World War II, ridership dropped. Almost everyone was using automobiles to go everywhere. The South Shore requested permission of the Interstate Commerce Commission to reduce service. Since the South Shore is a public service, any changes must be approved by the Interstate Commerce Commission. In 1959, 1964, 1970, and 1972, the South Shore was allowed to cut its passenger service. Finally, in 1977, the South Shore asked to drop all passenger service. the Interstate Commerce Commission ruled that the South Shore had to continue passenger service until February 8, 1978. This situation made the study necessary. You need reliable, impartial information in order to make decisions which will be best for all. The staff of the Institute which prepared the study asked, where do the people who are riding the South Shore live? What area does the South Shore serve? The study found that most South Shore riders live within 6 to 7 miles from the lines. The researchers anticipated what changes the next 25 years would bring. They assumed that the South Shore service would be continued. They assumed there would be new South Shore cars, better stations, more parking, and they assumed that buses would be coordinated with the South Shore schedule. On the basis of these assumptions, they estimate that people living even 14 miles from the line will want to ride the South Shore. Thus, in the future, the South Shore service could be available to almost 90% of the people living in the 4 counties. This means mobility for those without cars and backup transportation for those with cars. How many people would ride the South Shore? Researchers considered estimates of population growth and expected fuel costs. Also, they assumed an improved South Shore service. Conservative projections show twice as many people will use the South Shore. What choices do you have for commuter transportation? The study found 9 choices based on combinations of auto, bus, and South Shore. In every instance, the South Shore service had to be considered. One choice was to keep full South Shore service from South Bend to Chicago. Other choices were to cut South Shore service, like this. The South Shore service would start at Michigan City or Gary. South Shore passengers east of Gary or Michigan City would drive their autos all the way to Chicago or to the nearest South Shore station, or ride a feeder bus to the nearest station, or take an express bus to Chicago. A third group of choices would drop South Shore service completely. Former South Shore riders would use only autos to travel to Chicago, or former South Shore passengers would ride on express buses. Each choice was evaluated by its effect on the economy, environment, and special factors. The main question of the study is, what is the best form of transportation for Northwest Indiana? The immediate question concerns the South Shore service, whether to keep it or drop it. Of the 9 choices, let's measure the 2 extremes: continued South Shore service and autos of former South Shore passengers. Today, the South Shore is faster, and as highway congestion increases, the South Shore will continue to be faster. Dropping the South Shore will increase congestion on already crowded Dan Ryan and Borman expressways. Operating cost for the South Shore was $5.3 million. If present South Shore riders used only autos, it would cost them $14 million to operate their cars. That's almost $3,000 apiece. In 2000, the South Shore operating cost is estimated to be half that of autos. The South Shore costs less to operate now and in the future. Tax monies underwrite transportation costs. In 1976, the total subsidy for the South Shore was less than the subsidy for freeways. In 2000, the South Shore subsidy, even with an improved service, would be half the expected subsidy for freeways. All expenses considered, the South Shore costs less than the auto. If the South Shore were dropped, 1/3 of the riders would move out of the 4 counties with an income loss of $7 million. Without the South Shore service, pollution would increase as much as 50% in some areas. Energy was measured in British thermal units. Currently, the South Shore is 5 times more energy efficient. In the future, the South Shore will be more than twice as energy efficient. The South Shore is safer. The study shows that public transportation is safer and will continue to be safer than automobiles. Without the South Shore, already limited recreation lands would have to be used for parking lots. Master plans for recreation rely on continued South Shore passenger service. Dropping the South Shore service would hurt the opportunity for the development of recreational facilities. Dropping the South Shore service would jeopardize the plans for the Michiana Regional Airport at South Bend.
The multimodal concept, as we refer to it, or intermodal concept, as some of the federal agencies refer to it, ties together really four modes of transportation. It ties air, rail, bus, and automobile transportation into one terminus. The bus portion of the terminal would be on the west end of the terminal building, and it would have both inter and intra-state and city buses serving it. The rail portion, the platform, would be on the west end of the terminal, and the rail, at the present time, South Shore Rail tracks are located about 30 feet off the eastern boundary of the airport. And of course, the airplane section is the 6-gate area on the field side and the automobile parking in front of the terminal. We see a lot of advantages. One, and probably the most paramount in our minds and in the minds of the federal, is the conservation of resources and energies. And we also see the interfacing of the different modes complementing each other so that people who are traveling can go to one place.
Continued South Shore service rates higher on economic factors, in terms of the environment, and in special factors. The South Shore is safer, faster, cuts down on highway congestion, and reduces parking problems. Between the extremes of continued South Shore service are other possibilities, but any reduction in service puts a burden on the economy, the environment, and special factors. The researchers recommend that the South Shore commuter service be continued. Other planning studies have made similar recommendations. All rely on continued South Shore service for the betterment of the area.
The time grows near, too late to rest. Will she ride forever, or will she die? The trains are run for those, it seems, who cherish the past for love of their dreams. Well, the dues were laid, but no price has yet been paid. And as a weary old train, I've seen of better days. The time grows near to make the choice. Will she ride forever, or will she die? The trains, they're run for those, it seems, who cherish the past for love of their dreams.
What must be done if we want the South Shore to continue? New rail cars are a must. The new cars should be compatible with the Illinois Central Gulf cars, but not necessarily look just like them. Some parts of the electric system need to be replaced. The electric system includes the catenary, the overhead wires, and the power substations. Maintenance facilities will have to be replaced or remodeled to accommodate the new equipment. The South Shore service should be better coordinated with the local bus system so that commuters can transfer conveniently from bus to rail. Parking facilities will need to be improved. The new cars and supporting equipment, capital equipment, can be purchased with funds from federal, state, and local governments. The Federal Urban Mass Transportation Administration will pay 80% of the cost of new cars and other capital improvements. In order to get the federal capital funds, there must be matching funds from state and county governments. Because the South Shore serves part of Illinois, the Northeastern Illinois Regional Transportation Authority has agreed to contribute up to $1.3 million for the purchase of capital equipment. Illinois' contribution depends upon the state of Indiana and the 4 Indiana counties paying their share. The state of Indiana has appropriated up to $3.6 million to purchase new cars and other capital equipment. This is available when the counties appropriate their money on a dollar-for-dollar match. So, to get money for capital improvements, the 4 counties must appropriate their share. New equipment and facilities are only part of the problem. The question of operating funds must be answered. Money received from fares is part of the answer. The experience of commuter railroads in the Chicago area shows that fares should be set to cover about 50% of the operating expenses. Fares that are too high discourage people from using public transportation. The Urban Mass Transportation Administration will fund up to half of what is left, the operating deficit, if certain complex requirements are met. And since 1975, Indiana has had a program of matching federal mass transportation grants. This appropriation may need to be increased to meet regional needs like the South Shore and local needs like the city bus systems. However, state funds can be increased if the General Assembly can be convinced of the magnitude of the need. Again, the counties must appropriate their share. So the immediate burden of providing the money for capital grants and operating assistance for the South Shore falls on the 4 Northwest Indiana counties. Where can this money come from? General revenue sharing money is one possibility. Also, state law allows counties to levy a county-wide employment tax to fund public transportation. By February 8, 1978, the Interstate Commerce Commission must be convinced that all of us are actively working with the South Shore to find a way to finance the continued operation of its commuter service. If this is not done, then the Interstate Commerce Commission will be required to reconsider the South Shore's petition to discontinue passenger service. You can do your part. Let your county councilmen and county commissioners know how you feel.
Can we fly high forever with no thoughts towards tomorrow? Well, everyone loves their freedom, but you sometimes pay the price. If you had no choice, would it be easier to choose? When I was a child, I grew up believing the trains and my daddy were the ends of the earth. It's the aged, they say, as the trains disappear. We're spinning our wheels when we lose where we've been. The time grows near to make the choice. Will she ride forever, or will she die? The trains, they run for those, it seems, who cherish the past for love of their dreams.